Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
Hello, my name is Susan Kostrzewa. I'm the executive editor of Wine Enthusiast Magazine. You can learn more about our magazine and subscribe on winemag.com.
You know, in recent times here, it's been brought to my attention a couple of times about this article in Wine Enthusiast called 40 Under 40, America's Tastemakers, published on April 30th, 2013. Meet the rising young stars who are changing the way the world drinks. And remember, just a week or two ago, we had a conversation with Tim Ruling, the founder of Ruling Vineyards, and his winemaker, Matt Taylor, is one of these 40. And then so these people who are doing publicity for Philip Rubin and Philip Zucchino of the Wine Feed in Raleigh, North Carolina, emailed me. I said, my gosh, this is in my backyard. I've got to do something more about this. So joining us today on Wine and Dine is Susan Kostrzewa, who's the executive editor of Wine Enthusiast. And as I understand, Susan, there is a team of people at Wine Enthusiast who come together and develop this group of 40. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So we have a team of team of editors, both on site in New York and around the world, as well as in different states in the U.S. And what we do for this list is we ask all of these qualified editors who is on their radar right now, what young person under 40 do they feel is really changing the way that the consumer thinks about wine, spirits, and beer. And in most cases, these names just rolled right off of everyone's tongue quickly, so we knew they were the right choices.
Wow. And did people from Wine Enthusiast Magazine then go out and take photographs, or did they supply photographs?
No, we did 2 photo shoots. We did one in New York and one in San Francisco. And we invited pretty much everyone who was on the list to join in on the photo shoot, and those who could make it did, and that's the result that you're seeing in the magazine, the people who were actually able to make it. And we had a lot of fun at that shoot.
Oh, I can't imagine how much fun you had.
Yeah, it was great energy. I mean, one of the reasons that all of these people were chosen is because they have a great energy, and they're very invested in what they're doing. They're extremely smart, but they're having a really good time with this category, and they're interesting people. So once you get them all together in a studio, I don't think the photographer had much trouble getting great shots.
You're giving me ideas for requesting interviews with people I haven't met yet. And I've had a conversation with Turley before, but Christina Turley, this caught my eye here. She has a new project with releasing a bone-dry Turley White Zinfandel. Who the heck would have imagined that would be innovative to put out a bone-dry White Zinfandel?
I mean, I think White Zinfandel, just as a category, sort of went through a bad rap for a while. So the fact that she's even releasing a White Zin and really standing behind it is, in a way, a little bit sort of revolutionary, but certainly in releasing something in such a different style. But I just as an aside, I'd say that's one of the things about this sort of category of tastemakers this generation is they really think outside of the box. They're really not hampered by past tradition in ways that others have been. They want to make new traditions, and that's what she's doing.
Do you have any favorites in the group? Could you rattle off their names so it's not in my voice, but we can hear you telling the different people? I've got a copy of it in front of me.
You want me to read off the names of all 40?
Yeah, and where they're from.
Okay, so we have Ian Brand, who's a winemaker from Monterey, very innovative young winemaker there. We have Bibiana Gonzalez-Rave, who is based in Santa Rosa. She is a sommelier and a wine director and a winemaker. We have Morgan Twain Peterson from Sonoma, California. He's from Bedrock Wine Company. Matt Stamp, who is an education director for the Guild of Sommeliers in Napa. Aaron Sullivan's the wine director at Acme Fine Wines in Napa. Ian Cobble is a master sommelier and works as an ambassador for Krug Champagne, and he's out of San Mateo, California. Jordan Harris, who is a winemaker and general manager for Terrara Winery in Virginia. And Carla Rajewski, who is the wine director for several pretty lauded restaurants in New York City, the Breslin, John Dory Oyster Bar, and the Spotted Pig.
Okay.
Ivy Mix, who's the co-founder of Speed Rack in Brooklyn, New York, and also a very well-known mixologist here. Ravi DeRossi, who is the owner of DeRossi Global, and they've released or they've opened several very innovative cocktail lounges in New York City. Greg Engert is the beer director and partner of the Neighborhood Restaurant Wine Group in D.C. Christina Turley is the brand ambassador and head of sales at Turley Wine Cellars. Jesse Katz, winemaker at Lancaster Estate and Roth in Healdsburg, California. You have Nicole Ernie, who's Master Chicharrone in Oakland, California. Alpana Singh, who is the proprietor of the boarding house in Chicago. Andy Lewis, distiller of Rocktown Distillery in Little Rock, Arkansas. Fred Merworth and Oscar Bink, who both work for Herman J. Weimer in the Finger Lakes in New York.
Okay.
Philip Rubin and Philip Zucchino, director of wine programs at the Wine Feed in Raleigh, North Carolina. Joe Campanella, who's the beverage director and partner of four very innovative restaurants in New York City. Marco Karakazevic, who is the master distiller of Charbet Distillers in St. Helena, California.
Yeah.
Christy Melton is a winemaker at Clos Duval in Napa, California. Pascaline Lepelletier is the beverage director of Rouge Tomate in New York City. Leo Robichek is the bar manager at Nomad Hotel in New York City. Nicholas Miller is the VP of Sales and Marketing at Bien Nacido Vineyards in Santa Barbara, California. Carl Wente, winemaker, Wente Vineyards in Livermore, California. Hardy Wallace is the winemaker and blogger for Dirty and Rowdy Family Winery in Calistoga, California. Fernando Bateta is the master sommelier for Tenzing Wine and Spirits in Chicago. Laura Maniak is a master sommelier and the owner of Cork Buzz Wine Studio in New York City. Jasmine Hirsch is director of sales and marketing at Hirsch Vineyards in Cazadero, California. Matt Taylor is the winemaker and farmer of Roiling Vineyard and Front Porch Farm in Forestville, California. Paul Zittarelli is the owner of Full Pull Wines in Seattle. Leslie Townsend Duval is the founder and executive director of Manhattan Cocktail Classic in New York City. Tyler Balliet is the president and founder of Second Glass in Boston. Jason Luttrell is the former president of the U.S. Bartenders Guild in New York. Damon Bolt is the radio host on The Speakeasy, and he's bar director of Prime Meats in Brooklyn, New York. Aaron Barber Scala is the wine director of Public Restaurant in New York City. Gavin Channon is the winemaker of Price Channon Vineyards and Channon Wine Company in Sonoma, California. And Scott Beatty is the bar manager and partner of Goose and Gander in St. Helena, California. So that's the list.
Wow. And you did fantastic on all the pronunciation.
I did the best I could. I know most of these people or have met them, so I'm hoping that they had the right pronunciation and no one comes after me. But
Marco's last name is One Tough Cookie.
It is.
Wow, this is just so awesome. And it's spread out. It's not just coast. You've got some people, and I love the fact you've got somebody in Arkansas. I mean, it's just,
Well, we really made an effort to reach out beyond sort of the major markets because we know that a lot of the change and innovation in the sort of wine industry in general in this country, they're happening in those areas that you wouldn't expect. So in Virginia and Arkansas and some of these lesser-known parts of California and the Pacific Northwest, I mean, that's what makes these people even more incredible is they're really pushing a trend in an area maybe that isn't really clued in yet. So they've got their work cut out for them, and they're doing a great job.
Wow. Well, I'm going to ask every single one of them that I haven't talked to already to be a guest here and join me because so much of the direction of innovation in wine and spirits is coming from this millennial generation.
Absolutely. And I think what's incredible about everyone on this list is how much they've done at such a young age. Obviously, that's important too. The diverse backgrounds they all have. They're super ambitious, and they're, like I say, still having a good time doing it.
So are you and your staff already working on the names, the group for next year, or what time of the year do you start this process?
It's ongoing. So absolutely we have a list running already. But, as the year progresses, we try to add, new people come onto our radar as we do business and as we're out in the market. And, so I'd say, we probably have half of that list, almost at least half of the list already sort of worked out now, but there will be new people coming in the next 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Does Wine Enthusiast Magazine do anything that is for a little older age group?
Absolutely. We do, because our readership our core readership is 35 to 55.
Okay.
So we absolutely have, millennials are part of our readership, certainly online, and definitely the print magazine. But we don't just target people under 40. I mean, the wine drinking public is pretty vast and many ages. I think more than anything, we target a youthful thinking reader as opposed to just a young reader. So.
Youthful thinking, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been executive editor of Wine Enthusiast Magazine?
It's been about 3 years. 3 years now, and I was a senior editor here before that time.
So when you're studying, in college, what were you studying? Journalism or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
And so this is just an absolute wonderful, fun job. I bet every day is different. You never get bored.
I never do. It's completely diverse every day.
Susan Kostrzewa, executive editor of Wine Enthusiast Magazine, joining us today to talk about 40 Under 40, America's Tastemakers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We will have links up for you to learn more. And we thank you for listening to Wine and Dine. Now, you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.